Well, refuse collection in Nyanga has been temporarily suspended. A group of armed men demanded a protection fee for the safe passage of municipal workers in that area. A similar incident, of course, happening in Philippi, and now I'm joined by, before I go there, for more on this story, we are now joined by Twigg, MMC for Urban Waste Management in Cape Town. Thank you so much, Mr. Twigg, for joining me this morning. I think maybe just, first give us a clear understanding as to what exactly is happening in Nyanga and when it comes to this situation.
Morning, Baron, and morning to your viewers. Yes, it's an unfortunate state of affairs. In fact, after the subsequent to the killing of the two security guards, we also had our staff being threatened and harassed in Guguletu yesterday. And we had to also now withdraw from Guguletu because our staff was being threatened and these gangster elements is asking for protection fees for us to do the cleansing and the collection of the refuse in those areas. And it's really an unfortunate situation because all that we want to do as a city is keep our communities clean, collect the refuse from our households, and take it to the landfill.
I think, Mr. Twigg, what exactly do you think can be done, or what will you be doing to make sure that these extortionists are, being taken to book, and also what steps can be taken to make sure that this is not happening or doesn't happen in these areas?
Look, I think from a department side, there's not much we can do because all that we're doing is collecting the waste. But I know that from our safety and security side department and also with SEPs, they're looking at how to deal with it, how to get behind the situation and actually apprehend the culprits. But it's very difficult if the communities is also not coming up and identifying these criminals, because these criminals are as part of those communities. They live somewhere in one of those streets or part of those streets, and it's unfortunate that we not getting them arrested sooner than later.
And then are there plans to enhance the security, for the teams collecting refuse in those areas?
I think that's where we're grappling at the moment, because when these two security guards was shot and murdered, their firearms was stolen. So we actually put in a catch-22 that if we put security protecting our staff, the securities is being targeted for their weapons, and then the extortion just continues. So we're not really sure how to address it in terms of the security side. But what we are currently doing is we're looking at how to attend to the waste situation a bit differently. I've been having discussions with the councillors, and I intend having community meetings as well, so that we can actually engage with the community on what is the other options of us addressing the collection of waste. One of the options is to put in skips in different parts of the community, so that the community can take their bins to those skips, and that will allow us to collect and empty out the skips on a more regular basis. And that also means that our staff and the trucks won't be going into the areas driving street by street, but we'll be having the skips collected. And that would also, allow our safety and security or SEPs or even security to go into those interventions. But we're looking at various options in dealing with the problem.
And of course, if dealing with that problem, if it doesn't happen very fast, there is the concern that this could also spread to other areas.
Yes, yes, definitely. And not only that, I think there's, it's not everybody that would be able to take their bin to the skip. So we're also looking at how to support that process, because we also don't want people to go and dump the waste and create dumping sites all over the different communities.
And I think maybe if you could give any advice, to the residents of Nyanga, because, they are the ones suffering also, at the end of the day, what would that be?
That would be, we firstly ask our communities not to resort to dumping and emptying out their bins on the corners. We're asking them to actually support and help us, because this is not our own making. All that we want to do is render a service. And if they have information, that they should please share that with SAP, so that we can actually get those guilty of these extortion and crimes apprehended.
And of course, when it comes to the situation, it's the staff. They are the ones traumatized by all of this. What's now being done to make sure that they feel safe, at least when about the situation, and how then, I know you mentioned you are working with other partners in making sure that, there are future processes are there to keep them safe in the future. But what is done now to make sure that they are being taken care of?
And that's exactly why we've withdrawn services from those areas, because we think our staff's lives is very important to us, and we don't want to put them in any harm or danger. So we've withdrawn them from those areas until such time that we feel it's much safer for them to go in. Because remember, whilst they have a job to do and keep our communities clean, they've also got families that they need to make sure that they look after as well.
Thank you so much, Cape Town MMC for Urban Waste Management Councillor Grant Twiggs.